Drop a slice of buttered toast. Which side does it land on? You already know the answer. Butter side down. Almost every time. And here's the part nobody tells you. Scientists actually tested this. Thousands of drops, high-speed cameras, real physics labs. The toast really does land butter side down. But what they discovered along the way says almost nothing about toast, and almost everything about your brain. Because your brain is running a quiet scam on you. Every single day. It has patiently convinced you that you are unlucky, that life waits for the worst possible moment to strike, that your bad days come in long black stripes. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this scam works, and why the black stripe you might be living through right now may not exist at all. Let's start with the toast, because the toast is real. In 1995, British physicist Robert Matthews decided to do the math. It turns out that when toast slides off a standard table, about 75 centimeters high, it has just enough time to complete roughly half a rotation before it hits the floor. Half a rotation. It starts butter up, flips halfway, and lands butter down. Not because the universe hates you, because of gravity, torque, and the height of furniture designed for human beings. Matthews won an Ig Nobel Prize, and a later team dropped toast nearly 10,000 times to confirm it. Butter side down about 80% of the time. So yes, that one is physics. But here's the trap. Your brain took that one legitimate pattern and quietly expanded it into a philosophy. The line you switch to at the supermarket suddenly stops moving. It starts raining the day after you wash your car. The phone rings the moment you step into the shower. And somewhere deep inside, a voice whispers, "Of course, it's the law. It's always like this." For me, that voice feels like wisdom. It's actually a glitch. 3 ancient glitches stacked on top of each other, and once you see them, you can never unsee them. Glitch number 1, negativity bias. Your brain does not weigh good and bad events equally. Psychologist Roy Baumeister summarized decades of research in a paper with a brutally honest title. Bad is stronger than good. A loss stings roughly twice as hard as an equivalent win feels pleasant. A single insult can outweigh 5 compliments. Why would evolution build such a miserable machine? Because for millions of years, the price of ignoring a good thing was small. You missed some fruit. The price of ignoring a bad thing was that you became lunch. The ancestors who obsessed over threats, who replayed every rustle in the grass, survived and passed that obsession down to you. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It is designed to keep you alive. And it does that by treating every negative event as front page news, and every normal, quiet, perfectly fine day as spam to be deleted. And that deletion is glitch number 2. Selective attention. This morning, your alarm worked. Your keys were where you left them. Traffic was ordinary. 100 small things went right, and your memory recorded none of them because there was nothing to record. The day the toast lands butter up, there is no story. The day it lands on your white carpet, butter down, 5 minutes before an interview, that becomes a memory with a timestamp. So when you look back and ask, has my luck been good or bad lately? You're not reviewing your life. You're reviewing a highlight reel edited by a director who only kept the disasters. Of course it looks like a black stripe. That's the only footage that got saved. Then, confirmation bias. Glitch number 3 arrives to finish the job. The moment you accept the belief, I'm an unlucky person, your brain stops being a scientist and becomes a lawyer. Its job is no longer to test the theory. Its job is to win the case. Every red light becomes evidence. Every dropped call becomes Exhibit A. And every piece of good luck gets reclassified. That wasn't luck. That was an exception, a fluke, a delay before the next disaster. Psychologists call this the frequency illusion. Once something is on your mental radar, you see it everywhere. Learn a new word. You'll hear it 3 times this week. Decide the universe is against you, and the universe will happily appear to cooperate, everywhere, daily. Now, what about the stripes themselves? The famous black stripe, when everything collapses at once. Here's the uncomfortable mathematical truth. Randomness is streaky. It is supposed to be streaky. Flip a fair coin 200 times and you will almost certainly get runs of 6, 7 heads in a row. Nothing is broken. But humans are pattern detecting machines. Researchers call it the clustering illusion. We physically cannot look at a streak and feel coincidence. We feel message. 3 bad things in 1 week doesn't read as statistics. It reads as a curse. And then we make it worse with the gambler's fallacy. The belief that after enough bad luck, good luck is owed to us, that a white stripe is scheduled to arrive. But the coin has no memory. The universe keeps no ledger. The stripes aren't out there. They're painted on by your attention. If it stopped there, this would just be a story about perception. It doesn't stop there, and this is where it gets genuinely dark. In 1967, psychologist Martin Seligman discovered something disturbing. Subjects repeatedly exposed to unpleasant situations they couldn't control eventually stopped trying to escape. Even later, when escape became easy, the exits were open. They no longer looked for them. He called it learned helplessness. And humans do exactly the same thing. If you believe your failures are permanent, personal, and everywhere, it's always like this. It's me. It ruins everything. You stop applying, stop asking, stop trying. And a person who stops trying generates real failures. The belief in bad luck starts manufacturing bad luck. The prophecy fulfills itself, and the black stripe becomes a black tunnel, one you are digging yourself. There's a beautiful experiment that exposes the whole mechanism. Psychologist Richard Wiseman gathered people who called themselves lucky or unlucky, handed each a newspaper, and asked them to count the photographs inside. The unlucky people took about 2 minutes. The lucky ones took seconds. Why? On page 2, half the page said in giant letters, "Stop counting. There are 43 photographs in this newspaper." Many of the unlucky people never saw it. Anxious and locked on the task, they walked straight past a free win. Same newspaper, same pages, 2 different worlds. Luck, it turns out, is not a lottery. It's a bandwidth setting. Anxiety narrows your attention into a tunnel, and opportunities live in exactly the peripheral zone that tunnel cuts off. So how do you switch off the sandwich law? 3 moves. First, catch the lawyer. When that voice says always or never, this always happens to me, pause and demand the real number. Always or twice this month? The word always is where the scam lives. Second, collect the boring evidence. For 1 week, write down 3 things every evening that simply didn't go wrong. It sounds trivial, but it retrains the editor of your highlight reel to save ordinary footage. Studies show measurable drops in anxiety within weeks because you're not lying to yourself. You're finally including the full data set. Third, shrink the story. Not, my life is falling apart, but this week was hard. Bad moment, not bad fate. That single reframe is what separates people who pause from people who quit. The toast will keep landing butter side down. That's physics. Blame the tables. But your life is not a slice of toast. Tomorrow morning, your brain will offer you its first piece of evidence that you're unlucky. It might be small, a red light, a slow line, a spilled coffee. Watch what your mind does with it. Catch it in the act, just once, and the black stripe starts losing its color. Because the stripes were never the pattern of your life. They were the pattern of your attention. And attention, unlike luck, is something you own.